this is Arno with the BGC, and I'm here with my guest, Daisy. Daisy, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Sure. My name is Daisy Swain, and I'm a person based in Treaty 7.
Awesome. What do you do for a living?
I work at a digital design agency, and I work as a copywriter.
Okay. And for some of our listeners who maybe don't know what a copywriter,
Yep.
don't know what a copywriter is, what is a copywriter?
Yeah, so basically I work kind of more on the advertising side of things now. So I work to push out content. It kind of changes every day, but I do anything from write headlines, I'll write post copy for some of our clients, which means what shows up on their social media. I've written content for clients' websites. I've cut up or helped to cut up footage and write scripts that then kind of goes into like video work. So basically just a lot of writing and concepting as well.
Awesome. Why did you originally get into this career?
So I have kind of a funny path towards becoming a copywriter, but I went to ACAD, which is now the Alberta University of the Arts, and I actually got my degree in graphic design. But in doing that, I was exposed to advertising, and as part of my degree, had to take some advertising classes, and I just kind of fell in love with it. As much as I love design, I think I just enjoyed kind of putting my own spin on things and using my voice and coming up with like fun taglines and sort of having that role creatively. So I kind of started swaying more that way. And then towards the end of my degree, I took an internship, and it was a copywriting internship. And I didn't know if I would be super qualified because my background was mostly design based, but I was able to kind of fit in and like figure out where I could learn, and I did that. And then after my internship, I was offered a job to do it full time. So kind of a funny road, I guess, but yeah, I love it. So
Totally. That's awesome.
yeah.
And we already talked on this a little bit, but what does your day-to-day look like?
It really depends. So right now, obviously, I'm working from home. But yeah, it really depends. I'm lucky that I've been able to work with a few different clients and get some different exposure and different experiences. But yeah, like I said, it could be anything from writing headlines to sort of concepting sort of broader creative ideas to writing post copy to writing scripts to yeah, coming up with concepts for a commercial. Like I've really kind of have gotten to do a lot of things. So every day is pretty different, I find, but always creative and always fun. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So we touched on this, but is the path to being a copywriter sort of the schooling and the training necessary? I know you have a degree in graphic design. Is that the only way to get there to sort of be qualified to be a copywriter?
Um, I don't think so. I've only been in this role for a year and a half, so I couldn't say for sure. But my experience from other copywriters that I've talked to, we have diverse backgrounds. So I definitely don't think there's like a one road to take to become a copywriter or really to work in any creative space. I think it's just kind of where you find you fit and like where you're able to sort of mold yourself. And yeah, so I definitely don't think there's like one size fits all.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how does someone get a job in this field?
So for me, um, I interned all through school in a design role. So that was kind of my focus through school. But then when it came to sort of finishing my degree and when I was looking to get into the field, yeah, like I said, I kind of took a bit of a leap and applied for a copywriting internship. And then from there, I was able to do that. I think I was an intern for 4 months. And then I was lucky that I was offered a job at the end of it. But yeah, that's kind of how I was able to get in. So that's my experience. I think interning in general, both my design internships and then my copywriting internship were definitely ways for me in school to build not only a resume, but a portfolio and like make connections. And I think without my experiences as an intern, I don't know where I would be career-wise. I definitely don't think it's the only way, but for me personally, I think interning was my major way to get in for sure.
Totally. And I know in the past you've done other design work and design-based work. If is that sort of work more gig-based, or is it or did you find it was more gig-based when you did sort of more design-based work in the past?
Yeah, I would say through school, I definitely had little opportunities here and there. Being a full-time student is obviously so busy, as you know, but definitely just sort of little things that would pop up during school, little projects I would get to do from internships. And then I also found myself more so during school, I guess, but doing a lot of smaller, even just like passion projects that kind of helped me like hone in on a tone of voice and also just like collaborate with people I was friends with. And yeah.
Awesome. What are some of the challenges you've faced in this industry?
Um, I think there was definitely a bit of a learning curve. I mean, I feel like I learn every day. Um, I think it's just learning to be a little bit more confident, maybe. I think I was a really confident student and felt really good about my skills. But then being in the workforce, I felt myself maybe become a little bit less confident for some reason because I was suddenly in this like very not like, yeah, I guess more professional setting. And I maybe felt a little bit more pressure to just do well right out of the gate. So I think, yeah, learning to be more confident was a challenge. Um, I think just being okay with asking a million questions was something I learned because everybody does, depending on what you're working on. And it's just such an easy way to yeah, figure things out, asking questions, getting answers. It's yeah. Other challenges, maybe getting used to a workflow. Like sometimes there can be like small lulls in the work and then things can pick up and get really crazy. So just kind of learning to like ride that wave and manage your time really well. Obviously working from home has been interesting. I personally really like it. Like I like working in my space, but it's definitely been interesting to adapt to that. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I've had a fairly easy transition. I feel like I haven't had a ton of like challenges. I'm lucky that where I work is like full of very supportive and understanding and nice people. So I've never felt anything but that. But yeah, I think that's basically it.
Awesome. Do you have any tips for youth who would be interested into going into being a copywriter or even going into graphic design?
For sure. I think definitely, obviously, of course, working really hard in school. I put so much focus and energy and effort into school, but not only in the work, but also in the relationships that I made there, because something to consider, at least in design and in advertising, my experience is that you end up working with a lot of the people that you went to school with. And so just having those like strong relationships has been really helpful because you can't be great, or at least I'm not great at every aspect of like design or advertising. So having those people that you can turn to who are stronger in places that you're not. So I would say definitely just like having really strong relationships in school, looking out for internships. Again, that was like such a huge advantage for me. And I would just say constantly be populating a portfolio, whether that's a website or if you're just getting started and you literally have something that you get printed to have, even if you don't really think you have anything to put in it, just start populating some space with work, because it will change, and it just helps you to sort of hone in on your craft and like identify a tone of voice. And yeah, I would just say don't be afraid to just go for it, even if you feel underqualified or you don't really know what you're doing, because I think the twist is that all creatives don't know what we're doing. And it's like this secret that we all have, but everybody feels that way, is what I've come to find. So just to go for it, and um, yeah, look out for internships and get a LinkedIn.
Oh, I've resisted LinkedIn.
Oh my God, I love LinkedIn now. It's so embarrassing. I love connecting. But yeah, I guess something I should mention is the agency that I work for. Obviously, things are a little bit different now with COVID, but they are offering or looking for interns. So I believe, yeah, they did post it on LinkedIn, I know, but I think where I found my internship was on Glassdoor. And then also on their website. So Critical Mass, if anyone is interested, they do offer internships. And I think yeah, it's how I got in. So I'm such a huge supporter of that route. But
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice. Thank you. So if anyone has any questions for Daisy about being a copywriter, or even graphic design based questions, you can submit those on our website, and I'd be happy to forward them to her. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate having you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And as a reminder to all the youth watching this, we will be posting videos throughout the week, so stay tuned and learn about some cool careers. Yeah.